Imagine the story of the college football playoff so far. I have an idea what it might be, but I never want to put words in your mouth. Your perspective of the first two rounds of the college football playoffs is what?
Ohio State is a absolute wagon that we thought they could be. Was that your choice?
That is that's it. I mean, and that is no doubt the storyline of the college football playoffs so far. And I was saying before, Dan, to start the show, the text I received more than any other text on New Year's Day, other than wasn't Happy New Year from those who know me. It's how the hell did your team beat this Ohio State team? It does put sort of a big question mark on that. But the exclamation point has been Ohio State's performance over the first two rounds of these playoffs, Dan.
Yeah, I after the Michigan game, I said that was the worst coached game I'd ever seen. And most people agreed, but there were a few people it wasn't like a 42 point spread or something. But considering you built up to Michigan, I just had never seen a game so poorly coached. And in the two games since, it makes me feel better about that statement because this is the team we thought we would see. They remind me right now of Mike Tyson in his prime. They come out of the gate and absolutely swarm you. And they are throwing haymakers. There's no feeling out. There's no jabs. There is just, let's throw it to Smith. Let's throw it to Abuka. Let's run this. We are going downfield, full throttle, all gas, no brakes. Boom. And Oregon and Tennessee came out and that was the old line. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. They got punched in the mouth and it's over. You can't, obviously you're not going to have a knockout. You're going to play all 60 minutes, but the games are basically over 3 possessions in. And that's what Ohio State looks like to me right now. They've always, really since the Nebraska game, had a tremendous defense. And that was, I always thought, hey, they could, if they get the offense figured out, they'll be fine. Even against Michigan, great defensive performance. But that defense is still just as good, if not better. But the offense now is there's no more, we need to establish the run, or we got to show how tough we are, or we got to do this. It's just, we've got the best players on the field, get them the ball.
Yeah, exactly right. And so do you think that the staff did do a self-scout after the loss to Michigan and said, what the hell were we doing? Let's screw it. This is the way we should go about it. And Tennessee and Oregon have been the on the business end of that. Do you really think that's what happened?
I don't think they needed to have a self-scout. I think it's pretty obvious they should have said, what were we doing? And I think that Chip Kelly and Ryan Day are offensive coaches. And Ryan Day has built his program in a little different way than Urban Meyer, and certainly a different way than Jim Tressel. He has recruited and built a program designed to beat SEC teams in the playoffs and have the athletes and the firepower to do that. Now, the sport has changed because of NIL and the transfer portal, and the best teams are not all in the SEC. But that used to be the case 5 years ago when he was really putting together the program and saying, what are we going to be about? We have to beat LSU. We have to beat Alabama. We have to beat Georgia. We have to beat Clemson. And to do that, we need athletes. Michigan is the thorn in their side because you build a program one way and then you say, oh, this 1 week, we're going to be the toughest team in the world. We're going to be tougher than Michigan. It's really hard to be tougher than Michigan. It's just, they're really, really tough team. And so that doesn't work. And he's too far in his head and all the stuff we've already discussed. But now that he's freed from that, because there ain't no maize and blue in this thing, they're not showing up. And now it's like, hey, we've got these guys. I remember just quickly last year on signing day, sure. Ryan Day is standing at the podium announcing the signees, right? You get to talk about each kid. Oh, he's going to be great. We got this linebacker and all that. And Jeremiah Smith his paperwork hadn't come in until the middle of the press conference. And so per NCAA rules, you couldn't talk about him until it comes in. And there was a little bit of like rumors. Hey, could he stay at Miami? Could flip him at the last second, or Florida State. It was a little tense. And Ryan Day's at the press conference and he gets word that Smith is signed. The paperwork is in and he can now talk about him. And he did this little like bent his knees and like did this like fake like faint almost and like this huge exhale. It was kind of funny at the time, but as you watch this kid play, you can see that it wasn't a joke. It was like, oh my God, we're going to be fine. Like,
Yeah,
because as good as the other guys are, he's unbelievable. He's uncoverable. And so you watch and you go, bang, this is that team they've got right now.
And the other guys aren't just his current teammates. I think you can throw Marvin Harrison Jr. and Garrett Wilson and
Smith
Chris
and
Olave and JSN in there. Like you could really throw those guys in there, and that's how much of a difference maker this kid is. And he is the one. You made the terrific analogy of Tyson in his prime. He's the haymaker. He's the guy with the brass knuckles. That guy.
He's the haymaker. And what was with Tyson, what was so exciting was obviously he could knock you out at any moment, but it was also he'd just show up. He wouldn't even like have a robe on, right? He just walk out there and first punch would be a left hook to try to knock the guy's head into the third row. You're like, what is this? Isn't like boxing. They're supposed to feel each other out. No, feeling out. Oh no, we're going right to you. They know the cornerback's nervous. The cornerback wants to settle in. Now we're not letting anyone settle in. We're going right at you with the best player. And there's no getting, it's the same thing in basketball. Get the other teammates involved, right? LeBron, Steph, you control the fourth quarter, but look at the other guys involved. They're like, nope, we're going to get up and we're going to show you we have something you can't, you're not going to do anything with this guy. And then you got to cover 2.5 dudes over there. And then we'll go to our other array of talent, or we'll run the ball really well. And then you've got this defense. I mean, Caleb Downs, Jack Sawyer, these guys are terrific. So right now, this team is the team to beat. It isn't even close. It's kind of funny. Ryan Day came in with the expectation of hey, I got to keep my job. And now he's won 2 games, and now it's switched all the way to, well, you better win the national title. Like the pendulum swings on this poor guy. Yes. He comes in with no confidence. Now he's like, oh no, everyone thinks I got to win it. But hey, I'd rather play with that deck of cards than anyone else.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.